It's Will.
And James. Thanks for checking into the Pit Stop. This is our recap for episodes 5 and 6 of Amazing Race season 38. And we are so excited for our special guest today, dear friends of ours, but also racers from the current season to talk about their experience on the race. Please welcome the Chata sisters, Hannah and Simone. And of course, our favorite Filipinas, Rubina and Kristine. Hey, ladies.
Hi.
What an honor.
Oh, we're so excited to have y'all. How's everyone doing?
Good. How are you?
No pause.
I was better before being eliminated, but all
I
things
can't hear.
Testing
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Mic check.
Yes.
Usually
check.
I'm always
Oh
heard.
no.
Usually it's a non-issue for me.
Oh no.
Should she log out and log back in?
Yes, try logging
I
in
tried
and
log
out.
out.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
You're okay.
We're live.
So you were saying, Hannah, you were better before you got eliminated?
Yes, but all things considered, I'm doing really well. Simone, how are you doing?
Doing so good. Happy to be here today. Wish that it was under better circumstances, celebrating a win, but we're here to celebrate our amazing journey.
Amen. And what about y'all,
Yay.
Rubina and Kristine?
I mean, listen, we didn't win the $1 million, but the Dodgers just won the World Series, so I'll take
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Go Dodgers. Well, we're unfortunate. Obviously, the circumstances are unfortunate. We hated to see you guys go back to back. You guys are our favorites. We're not going to lie about it anymore. We love you both so much. But we're excited to hear about your experience in Croatia, and we definitely have thoughts and opinions as well in terms of how these legs were designed. But let's just dive right into episode 5. Fly from Budapest to Dubrovnik to start this next leg, which was an equalizer, which I always love when teams are equalized. I think this season needed a little bit more of that. But once you arrived in Croatia, you had to find your next clue by the monument of Ivan Gundulic, which was going to be this leg's detour, which was a choice between Fisherman Hall or Skin 'em All. In Fisherman Hall, you had to procure fishing nets from the West Harbor and a bucket of chum from Botasare, and then deliver them on foot to the old port before receiving your next clue. In Skin 'em All, teams had to make their way to the old port and fillet 2 monkfish before receiving their next clue. So talk us through, I mean, I'm sure, was it a relief that it was a little bit of an equalizer going into this leg?
Speaking for myself, no.
Yeah, same.
Simone and I were consistently placing in like top 5, top 6.
Yeah.
So solidly in the middle of the pack. And I very much think when we were in a position where we weren't racing for last place and we knew we had that little bit of cushion, it was easier to enjoy ourselves. It wasn't as highly stressful. It wasn't as high pressured. And I think we ultimately performed better when we knew that we had some wiggle room. When we were racing for our lives during like the 4th leg, for example, and then got saved by that dance challenge, yes, we were able to rise to the occasion, but that's never a fun place to be. And so I was not excited that this leg was an equalizer. But on the flip side, I think up until that point, Simone and I hadn't had any like major mishaps. And so maybe in another life, this would have been our day to finally catch up to like the Jags and Jazzes of the season. How did you feel, Kristine and Rubina?
Going into
I was anxious about it, but also it was like a nice opportunity for us to get back up to, the front of the pack like we were, so that we weren't on timed release. And then also, I don't know, like we didn't take the risk of the train the last episode. So this was our opportunity to, catch up and get further ahead.
I think we all had the same feeling of like, okay, yeah, it's an equalizer. Maybe we can jump to the front again. At least there's that opportunity. Only to be stabbed in the heart. But it's fine. Yeah, I mean, you always have hope, right? There's always like a feeling of hope at the beginning of any equalizer, I think. And
Yeah.
and that's what we had. We had hope in our hearts.
It's crazy to me that this is probably one of the first equalized episodes.
It is the first
that you've
equalizer
had,
since the beginning.
Yeah.
which is crazy. Yeah, I feel like equalizers really put the pressure on everybody, and it makes you feel kind of crazy because you are all starting from the same, and you kind of have a sense of who's doing really well and
Right.
who the competition is, and so being with everybody, it just kind of, I don't know, I remember feeling always just like really anxious when we had to start from zero.
Yeah, you're a little neurotic.
Yeah.
But then what I love about equalizers is when you see teams kind of bunch together because, like you said, well, the pressure's on. And you could definitely feel that with this tour because all of you were kind of at Monkfish together. And so seeing all the teams, the pressure's on. What was your mindset when you chose Skin 'em All versus Fisherman Hall?
I mean, we're all ladies here. I think there was a really overall feeling of, okay, this isn't physical. This is a chance for us to probably jump ahead, given that it's a task that, you know, it is a mental, I don't know, mental, but like, it's something that anyone can do, not based off of size or strength.
Right. And I feel like and I was also thinking about like our strengths and, you know, I just feel like us women in general really do have a high attention to detail.
Right.
So, I mean, I just knew that we could figure it out and get it done.
Exactly. And then with my anatomy background, I was just thinking like,
oh,
this is
duh.
on a daily basis. So
this clearly makes sense for you, Hannah. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm not going to carry nets that are a third of my body weight. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, we didn't know how far we actually had to carry them. I don't think it said on the clue. So then, you know, that unknowing how long we're gonna have to carry these nets for, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do well with that.
Well, Will and I were rewatching the episode this morning, and I think Phil says, like, if they take the right route, it's just like a half a mile through town. But it seemed like even the guys who did that side of the detour, some of them were going around town and not through town. I feel like Tucker and Eric actually went through the city, and Joseph and Adam and Jag and Jazz kind of were like all over the place.
Went around.
Well, yeah, I mean, like through the city was a shorter way for sure.
And that's also a common theme. I feel like Joseph and Adam were just kind of in their own world the entire time when it came to navigation.
Yeah, they took the scenic route, if you will, the scenic route.
Yes.
I was going to pull a clip of Rubina and Kristine at the Monkfish detour.
Yeah, I'm fine. I got a little cut, but it's okay. I've cut myself so many times. She has cut herself a lot. But I need you to keep going. Okay. Don't let this stop us. Okay. It's totally okay. Sorry, Palon. No, why are you sorry? Because I don't want this to slow us down. No, it's okay. All right, let's go.
Okay, one thing I appreciate about the medics and like safety team of the race is they're on their shit. Like like you saw that guy was there ready.
They were there in like literally a second.
They were standing very close by. And I don't know if they know my history or not, but that was a smart move on production's part. They were closest, I feel like, to my team. I was like, why you guys so at the ready? Okay.
They actually assigned like a personal security guard / medic to you.
They were only on set for me. And so I wanted to give them a job. I wanted them to feel needed, you know, because men need to feel needed sometimes. And so to do my part, I did slice my thumb in half. Jeez.
Oh, gosh. Wait, in the moment, was that painful, or were you just hopped up on so much adrenaline that you didn't?
I didn't even feel, if I didn't see the slit in my glove, I don't know if I really would have. I remember saying ow, but I thought I just like pointed the knife at myself, but I didn't think that it's like actually cut me. And I am known to have like pretty high pain tolerance emotionally, physically. And so
she used to tell me she used to cut herself you know, like prepping at the bar, like a lot. Like carrying fruit and all that kind of stuff.
And so I really didn't know that I was bleeding that much till I watched it, guys. Like I truly did not know.
Well, because
But
I definitely didn't know.
I told you
Because she
keep
was just
going,
like, you
Zwan.
gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. I was like, okay, I hope you're okay.
when you're in that environment, you're just on autopilot. But
Yeah.
what I loved about watching that interaction is Rubina didn't let it phase her, and she was like, she kept her calm, she kept her cool, and she was like, Kristine, you just keep going. And Kristine was like, okay. Like you guys were nonchalant about the whole thing. Meanwhile, there's blood.
Yeah. It's like dripping down her hand.
Oh yeah.
When we were in the Amazon, we had to cook, and it was like a cheese grater, and so James was doing it, and he sliced open this. And so when we made the soup, the person has to taste it, and
I'm pretty sure my
there was blood in our soup, and like,
I'm pretty
we were
sure.
like, please don't eat it. Please don't eat this soup.
Yeah.
Why did they not show that? They didn't show that.
Well, because that is such a liability.
True.
There was blood everywhere.
There was probably blood in
God.
that soup, for sure.
Oh my God.
On the flip side with Hannah and Simone, you guys at one point thought about changing detours, and I pulled that clip as well.
I'm sorry. Okay, should we do the other one? Yeah, let's just do the other one. Wait, okay, we're switching detours. Yeah. I could not figure out for the life of me. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's ask people where it is. Excuse us? Can you help us? Okay, no, that's okay. Thank you. Here, Hannah. Excuse me? English? Bye, thank you. Maps. Jack and Chelsea just got it. Okay. Oh God, should we go back or no? Because we're not finding this. Okay, yeah, let's go back. Okay, we're gonna go back.
Yeah. How long did that take, do you feel like?
You go ahead and explain it.
Yes. So basically, we were at the actual detour for what felt like about 20-ish minutes. And then immediately decided that we were going to switch. And so the time from when we made that decision to switch to where we made that decision to go back was probably about, would you say, maybe 10 minutes?
15, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just explain kind of what was happening there?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm also so sorry. I don't know if now is an okay time to say. I can no longer hear Will and Rubina. Should I exit and then come back? I think I'm having the same problem as Kristine, but in reverse. Okay, I'm so sorry.
It's so on par for this episode that there's issues. Ooh, how on theme, how on brand. I love it.
How on brand.
But
basically, Simone and I had this hard and fast rule that if we were stuck at a detour for 10 to 15 minutes and we're not really making progress, because at that point we had gotten checked, I think, twice already. And it was really hard for us to kind of gauge where Simone was going wrong. So we decided okay, let's stick to our rule that we set for ourselves before the race. We're not making progress. It's been 20 minutes now. So we were technically supposed to leave 5 minutes ago, but people were getting checked. And so I think that's what kind of added to the amount of time that we spent there. So let's find the other detour. Even though it's physical, it does seem a lot more straightforward because you're just carrying something. There's no skill involved. But then when we asked each person for directions, no one's Google Maps was working. No one
I remember.
Yeah.
And so, because no one had signal, we were like, we're wasting time. We have spent probably 15 minutes trying to get directions to the next place, only to have gotten absolutely nowhere. We could have been out of the energy. And so we were like, let's just go back. Let's go slow. Let's go steady. I think the first time around, I was so focused on my own fish because I technically couldn't touch Simone's fish and vice versa. I was let me pay a lot of attention to what she's doing, kind of walk her through the steps as if we were in an anatomy dissection. And I think without all that pressure of having the other teams there and so much movement and people getting checked and people getting their next clue, we were really able to focus. We were able to dial it in and we were able to get it within 10 minutes after that. But that's what happened with that.
What do you think was the hardest detail that a lot of teams, not just you, but a lot of teams kind of couldn't get on their first try.
They
Not
wanted
taking-
it so close to the bone on every
Mm.
like with the fin and on the like the back, and we couldn't get close enough. And you just didn't realize how much they wanted you to not waste any of the fish.
I mean,
And so
it seemed like the fisherman knew exactly what he was looking for every single time, because there were some times when he just barely looked at it and was like, "Nah."
yeah, I was like, but you didn't.
You saw that, right?
Oh,
You saw-
Marco?
I was like, wait, you
His
barely looked at it.
Marco, you know his name?
Yeah,
Let's go
Marco
find
was up. Marco
Oh,
wasn't up.
yes.
but-
And then Marco would like walk past. And so my method at first, which was the wrong method, was I would try to essentially just almost like I was filing nails down, or I'm sorry, I would like clip nail first and then with a file sort of like file them down. I was trying to get the main meat and carve like the main fillets out first and then just trim the waist so then it would have the bone left. But before I would even get to that, he'd be like, "There's too much waste left on the bone."
I know.
And then he was like, "This
Yeah.
looks like you're hacking it with an
Yeah.
axe." And then, so I was just like, not
Damn.
the move, I guess. I guess like it had to be
I
done
mean-
in like one go.
He takes his job very seriously, obviously.
Yeah, rightfully so.
It's very precise.
Yeah.
It's a very precise art. And another
Yeah.
part of my strategy, and I don't think they showed this in the episode, but I kept being like, this is so just meticulous and you have to be so precise. And I didn't realize that fisher mining is an art. Because I was really trying to gas up Marco. I was
Brownie
like,
points.
maybe if I'm like,
Yes.
just kind of like
I
bow down
respect.
to the king
Yeah.
of fishing, and I let him know how much
You have to kiss the ring.
Yes, then he'll be like, these girls get it. These girls love my job. They love my country.
Bend the knee, girl.
We
Bend
should
the
have
knee.
said like we come from a long line of polos. We're probably related at some point.
Oh my gosh.
So yes, that was strategy for sure. But I do have a lot of respect because it's so like the lines you make, the cuts you make have to be so fine.
Mm.
So Marco, if you're watching and I come back to the Amazing Race, just please pass me the roast.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
Well, once y'all complete the detour and you rip open the next clue, it instructs you to travel by foot to the Booza Bar. And it also teases that there is a double U-turn ahead. And I feel like any racer can attest to this. When you read that there's a U-turn ahead, your heart kind of drops a little bit. There's a lot of unknowns going up to the U-turn board. Did either of you, I guess starting with Rubina and Kristine, did you ever in a million years think that you would even be the idea of being U-turned?
No,
Was
not
it-
at all.
Was it
Not
not
at
clear?
all. We were shocked. I mean, I don't know if anyone caught it. There's literally a clip of us running, towards the Booza Bar, being like, "It's not gonna be us."
It's not gonna be us. It's not gonna be us. It's us.
Yeah. What?
I mean, like, okay, and I guess maybe that's an error on our part to ever think that we wouldn't be.
True.
But given the other competitors in the race, we know we're underdogs. We'll own that. We know who we are. We know where we stand, which is below everyone else physically. And
Right.
so I just truly did not imagine that it would be us. And in that moment, it was I was so in shock that I even went to grab the clue. They were like, "No, you cannot grab the clue." I was like, wait, what?
Yes,
And they
we
didn't show it,
did.
but I went to grab it. I was like, I don't get it. It was us. I was just like, "Oh, cute picture. Oh, we look great." Anyway, no. That's
Well,
you need
and-
to do the other thing.
Okay, so to even add to us not ever thinking that we would be U-turned, I subconsciously left the clue at the fish detour. So they didn't even show that.
Yeah.
Left the whole
Wow.
clue because we're running and we're like, wait, where are we running to? We don't know where we're running to. We need to know where to go. Look in my fanny pack. I don't have the clue.
Oh,
So we
no.
run.
freaking out.
Freaking
And there's
out.
actually-
I'm like, oh great, we're great.
Somebody
So we start
has
running.
footage. Somebody has footage of us that's like, BTS of us running back and being like, she's like yelling, I'm sorry. And I'm like, it's fine. I don't blame you. And I'm like, come on. And you can hear her be like, I'm coming. And like, she's crying. I'm checking the trash can. I don't know where it is.
I'm like,
They
this is
cleaned the
it
whole
for, I'm
area.
like, oh, we got U-turned. This is it for us. We don't have the
Yeah, she thought we were done
clue.
for. We didn't know where to go. How could we
I
do
don't
the
know.
other detour?
Yeah.
Right. Or like they would have just eliminated us because like we lost the clue. We can't complete.
Hannah and Simone, y'all made a comment when y'all left and saw that it was a U-turn that you were like, oh, we're going to be U-turn. Why did you think that the two of you would be U-turned?
Yeah.
100,000% we expected to see our faces, just because we felt like if anyone's in front of us and they know they have the opportunity to give themselves a bit more insulation because this is an equalizer, why wouldn't they take that? I think if we were in that position, we would have done the exact same thing. And so that kind of added to our being super flustered. And we actually went to like the wrong bougie bar because there were two bougie. There was little bougie bar and there was big bougie bar. And we were going to the little bougie bar and we couldn't find big bougie bar. And we were like God is really, really punishing us. Another day. Yeah, so we 1000% expected to see our faces, and not even as like a personal dig or like anyone was targeting us. We didn't feel that way at all, because why would they? But we just felt like any team that was, towards the back would have been fair game to get U-turned.
That's fair. I pulled the clip of the U-turn decision, and then I'm curious your thoughts, since we've used the U-turn on our season, how we thought this was executed.
No one's U-turned. Guys, we have all the power. Let's use it. What do we think?
Now, let's go. We're not U-turning. There's too much blood on our hands.
Let's do Izzy and Paige. They're going against us. Go. We just U-turned Izzy and Paige. We know if they got to the board first, they're a strong team. We were hoping maybe we could mend that relationship, but we can tell that, they would rather work with these other teams than us. I'm so sorry. We're so sorry, guys. So unfortunately, we're doing Rubina and Kristine. It's too hard in the race for us to let this pass.
We like Izzy and Paige, so we needed to give them a lifeline. Also, we absolutely adore Hannah and Simone. They're clearly allies, so we had to U-turn Rubina and Kristine.
I'm sorry, Rubina and Kristine.
Well, for starters, Rubina and Kristine, you guys look cute in your photo.
Yeah.
What a great photo. I'm not even gonna lie. I said it in the moment. I was like, we look good.
You look good. You look good. Will, I have thoughts, but I'm curious, what did you think about how the U-turn was executed?
First, I do think the Jag and Jess choice made sense. I think that Izzy and Paige would have done Jag and Jazz. That's like playing personal. It's not really playing strategic. I think if you are equalized and you know how hard the task is, I personally feel, why not try and take a shot at another team who is doing well? Like the fact that y'all were both girl teams is crazy to me.
Okay, well, obviously optically it doesn't look well. Like I think we can all agree. But in the spirit of the race, the U-turn is not off limits to any team. Any team can be U-turned for whatever reason, whether we agree with it or not. But at the end of the day, I agree that Jag and Jazz's decision for Izzy and Paige made sense. Especially
that made sense.
Yes, with an alliance at play, I understand why they did what they did and why they feel. But then telling Joseph and Adam to U-turn Rubina.
You have to put up Kristine and Rubina.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
That was weird.
It didn't feel like a Joseph and Adam decision as much as it did like a Jag and Jazz decision. And it didn't really quite make sense. I did see, I do read the chat BCC, and I have seen Jazz kind of explain that with Rubina and Kristine, you guys had a better placement average, but by like but how much of a placement average over like a Jack and Chelsea. I also think you turning like a Kyland and Taylor made more sense, because why are we letting people with an express pass still coast their way through not using it? Like, you want to force these bigger teams to have to play those advantages when the time allows. And that would have been the time to flush the express pass. So it was just confusing to me. And the same goes, and I don't want to put all the heat on them. I think the heat can also be put on Tucker and Eric a little bit here. Just because you're in first place, there is no rule that says you can't use the U-turn. Will and I were in first. We knew damn well sure that we were in first, and we had no problem using the U-turn. Did it make us look like assholes? Sure. But at the end of the day, it's a race, and you got to use these advantages to your benefit. So I didn't understand their thought process either of like, we're in first, you're already threat, so why not use the U-turn? If you're not going to use it, somebody else might U-turn you down the line, or someone that you might be aligned with will be U-turn. So always fill the board. Don't let other people have the opportunity to do that. I don't know.
Just the fact that we knew there were still 2 express passes at play. Yes. And this was an equalizer. Like, we don't know when the next opportunity is to get rid of those and to put your own self. Don't even think about the other teams, about your own self at a maybe better advantage, given these people already have an advantage. I think that would have been strategically, like, some people are like, don't talk strategy, Rubina, you don't know anything. Okay, sure. But in this situation, it's so clear. Yeah, thank you. It's so clear that, like, I'm not talking about looking out for any other team except for yourself in the future. You can't only think about now. There's so many other ways. You don't know what's going to happen. Long run. You got to think long game.
Long haul.
And not being personal. Again, like Hannah said, it wouldn't be a personal move. It's strategic and it's a game move to at least flush those out so that, moving forward, there's better opportunity for you,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can't, like, people saying that, the first team didn't have to use it, but also in this specific situation, when is the last time there were 2 express passes floating around in a race at the same time?
It's been a long time.
Yeah. But I liked how it was executed in the past. I didn't like how it was necessarily executed this season, because like in season 22, it was the first team to check into the pit stop on the first leg got 2 express passes, and then they had until leg 4 to decide who to give that express pass to. So
that's more fun.
It helped.
That's fun.
A little bit with the narrative developing on the race and teams going up to them. Here's why you should give me the express pass. And I feel like with the Big Brother season, I would have wanted to see at least 2 legs where you guys were able to strategize in airports and at train stations to really pitch yourselves as to why you should get the express pass. I think we were robbed of that opportunity, but the fact that there's still 2 express passes this late into the race is wild to me. But I do also think a lot of that has to do with leg design. And also the U-turn not being executed correctly.
You would think that in a Big Brother season, collectively, we would be more strategic than we were. But we weren't. So I'm in trouble understanding what is happening here.
Yeah.
So true. So true. And I feel like people are more cutthroat. Like, it wouldn't, in this game too, it would have been made sense. I don't even know if I would take, like, we have an express pass. Of course we got U-turn.
Like, why wouldn't those, like, Big Brother strategies play more harshly in the race?
Yeah. And I do think what Jenna B said in the chat makes sense. Personal relationships factored into the season more so than any other season due to the dynamic of casting. And, just having been to Big Brother events, you guys are close. Like, the Big Brother community and alumni, like, everyone supports each other. You're always at events together. So, like, those connections obviously did play a factor into the race, especially coming from some of the same seasons. And I'm not surprised. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I felt kind of at a disadvantage because I'm the most recent season. So I had the least opportunity to, like, make any connections with anyone. But, like, I mean, that doesn't even matter. I mean, also I had just gotten out of the house anyway. But I'm not planning it's not a pity party. I'm just thinking, like, that makes sense that, I'm not even gonna fault anyone for, like, wanting to help the teams that they know, like, personally. So
I do, before we talk about the roadblock, want to just hear from Rubina and Kristine about that other side of the detour. what was going through your head? How hard was it? How long did it ultimately take for you to do this side of the detour?
I
Oh,
mean, the timing, I have no idea. We were just trying to get it done. And like, first when we saw Izzy and Paige just getting the nets, that was kind of like, oh, we're not too far behind, even though we lost
right.
our clue, which that was exciting. And we knew we weren't gonna like, try to ask for help. And that was all Rubina that led that conversation, which I was proud of her for. But those nets were incredibly difficult because of our stature. We couldn't even carry it above our waist because we're so
Yeah.
short.
I think it was
Yeah.
also the form, like Paige mentioned before, like we could have carried it had it been in a different form of weight. But like
Right.
the way that the nets were crazy. And so I remember at one point reading the clue and being like, does it say that we cannot drag it? If it doesn't say that, I don't care. We are going to get through this and I will
Yes.
drag these nets through to the other side. I don't care. And so we
We
checked,
literally stopped to read the clue and we're like, wait a minute, we're just gonna freaking drag this.
drag it. I don't care. As long as I'm not breaking a rule, I'm gonna do it. And so I was being so cutthroat in that moment. And there was even a point, it doesn't show, where there's a bunch of stairs you
Yes,
have to
thank
walk
you.
up to. There's a bunch of stairs you have to
Yes.
walk up to with a net to get the chum. And I remember being like, we're leaving these nets here and we're gonna go get the chum and we're gonna go back and get the nets. I don't care. It doesn't say. So we left them at the middle of the stairs, walked up, got the chum,
Yes.
and then walked back down because we would have been so gassed out.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I hate saying that because we're small and because I hate stature playing a part of it, but like just science, mathematics, physics,
Yeah.
it was like half my weight. It felt like
Yeah.
it was so heavy. Hannah and Simone, I'm so glad you guys didn't have to do it. I'm so serious. Or like
Yeah.
any other female team, because like I cannot explain how hard it was to do, but like, we did it. Okay, we did it. But
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
God.
I wish the detour was a little bit more balanced, especially on like a U-turn leg. I think that was a miss in terms of the design of this leg. But what I really didn't like was the roadblock on this leg of the race. In this roadblock, one team member had to assemble a cart and then roll down a street in a competition within 36 seconds before receiving their next clue, which would ultimately direct you to your next pit stop. But there was 2 layers to this roadblock. Obviously, you had to build the cart, assemble it, and then race it down the hill. Hannah and Simone, when you got to the roadblock, I did notice on the rewatch, some teams, when they were running up the hill, were told like it's building and a racing. Did anyone kind of call that out to y'all when you got to the roadblock clue? And then did that kind of weigh into your factor on Simone ultimately doing it?
Yes, so essentially the Abdens, they gave us a quick shout saying like, it's a building challenge and then you're gonna race down. And so right off the bat, Hannah and I knew that when it came to building challenges, that would be me. And so that definitely made it easier to sort of like get things going, like there was no deliberation necessary. And so that definitely gave us a heads up for what we were about to get ourselves into.
Yeah, but what's interesting is after the 4th leg, Simone and I were like, okay, no matter what, I'm doing this next roadblock. Like, no matter what, unless there was an asterisk, unless it is a building challenge. But any other roadblock I'm doing, and Adam literally goes, it's a building challenge. You're like, hey, Simone, you gotta step in. Because Simone is the handier one. Like when you look at all of the furniture behind her, all of the paintings, like she did all of that. She was really handy. She's very creative. She's the artistic one. She knows how things fit and where things go. I have actually never.
Or so I thought.
No.
I honestly, it was the pressure of the situation, but I have never picked up a screwdriver even outside of an operating room. Like I don't know my way around tools. And so that was a no-brainer. Simone was just going to do it. And I will say like Simone killed it and she persevered and going like, if we were to rewind time, I don't think we would have made a different decision.
And then same for you, Rubina and Kristine. Did anyone call it out to y'all that this was a building and a race, or did you just kind of show up and have to base it off solely the clue itself?
Well, we actually ran through
We ran past it first and saw. That's the only reason we knew. And we ran past it first and saw, okay, it's building. And I was like, immediately, my sister. Immediately, it was
Yeah.
going to be Kristine because, oh, that's so weird calling her Kristine the whole race. I called her Palan. I was like, oh, that felt weird coming out of my mouth. And so, because she is the more meticulous, handier one. Same thing, which, by the way, I want to mention this, Hannah and Simone. It's so funny. I don't know if you've noticed. Hannah and I did the same roadblocks, and Kristine and Simone did the same roadblocks. So it's weird. Our sisterhood
of
is
them.
split. And then, like we like hockey was the same, and this one was the same. Flowers was the same.
Flowers was the
right.
same.
True.
Yeah, you guys ended up doing like our sisterhood. I don't know if there's like alignment in that, but we have the same strengths, Hannah, and they have the same strengths.
I think the same thing with Izzy and Paige, like just the way that it worked out.
Yeah,
It's true.
that's
So.
true.
Izzy did the same, and then Paige and you did the same. I
Yes.
think so.
Wait, Rubina and Kristine, which one of you guys was the horse for the plow, and which one of y'all pushed the plow?
I was the horse.
Rubina was the horse.
Miniature.
I was also the horse. But other than that, we were exactly the same.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I wish the design of this roadblock would have been a lot different. I think visually it's fun, and I understand why it was a task on the race, but I just feel like it was a little uneven, not balanced in terms
inequitable.
of,
Let's just call it what it is. It's fine. It was not equitable.
It wasn't. And I mean, the fact that all the locals were male, that should have said something from the jump. I mean, I don't feel like it was a fair task. And I understand reality TV isn't fair at times, but I just feel like the race has always done such a good job at having tasks that felt equitable. But I don't know if that's just getting lost in translation the last couple of seasons, but this roadblock to me was just really frustrating to watch.
I have talked about this time and time again. Well, first of all, I asked, and go-kart racing is not a thing in Croatia, like anymore that it's a thing in America. So there's that. Not that's really relevant. It's just something that Sam, Steve, and Ben do on Saturdays. Like, so that's the first qualm that I have about this. And again, like when reflecting on Simone's and my experience on the race, we truly did have fun the entire time. It's just a shame that what got us was a challenge that was not equitable in any way, shape, or form. And the first thing is, well, actually, I'll keep this quick. But when you accelerate down a hill, the rate at which you accelerate is a direct function of your weight. If you drop an elephant from a rooftop and you drop a feather, who is going to, or what is going to hit the ground first? The elephant, because that is how physics work. So the fact that you have Kylan, who literally weighs twice what I weigh, what Simone weighs, and Simone expected to get down the hill in the same amount of time, and they don't have the same like muscle mass distribution, because this was very upper body reliant. Women tend to carry weight in their hips and their legs. Men are the opposite. That to me was just so unfair. And I think what they could have done to mitigate that is they could have divided us up into weight classes. Like if you weigh this much to this, you get 54 seconds. If you weigh this much to this much, you get 36. This much to this much, you get 24. Something like that, to just make it, to give everyone a shot, because it was not a coincidence that the last 5 teams there were all women. And it's not a coincidence that it took Kylan 2 tries to get down. It took Joseph 4 tries to get down, and that's because his cart kept breaking. And it took Tucker 1 try to get down. And then it took all of the women, with the exception of Nat, a minimum of 12 times to get down. And it took Simone 26. So I that right there meant to how like strong any of the teams are. Like those are factors that we can't control. We can't control our weight. We can't control our muscle mass distribution within the span of like the couple months that we had to train for this.
Barely.
Yeah, barely. So yeah, it's just a shame, because Simone and I, up until this point, had not had any like glaring mistakes. We were running a solid race. We had room for improvement, and we were continuing to learn from leg to leg. And it really just felt like this challenge, it stifled all of the progress that we had made for factors that we couldn't control.
all the women,
Mhm.
truly all the women. And like, I heard someone bragging that I'm being kind of messy.
Mm.
Someone bragging that, it only took me this many tries and it took other people 20 tries. Why do you think that was though? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
like really
Come on.
reflect on why you think that it was, because it's not because of anything other than it being completely inequitable. And I don't
Yeah.
think that's something to like really be proud of. I think that's something we need to like look at, even societally, like, hey, a lot of, this is the bigger underarching umbrella here is that it's so I hate the word unfair, because I'm not
Yeah,
asking for pity. I'm just asking for it to be equitable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. And I mean, even like the very first challenge that we did was the cheese bikes, or the tandem bikes to get to the
Yes.
cheese bikes. I
Let's
felt like
talk about that.
and like because Simone and myself and Rubina and Kristine were the smallest teams. And so I remember having to like find a surface to
Yes.
kind of
To get on.
Yeah, we had to find a bench or
and
whatever.
our feet couldn't touch the ground, and so that of course made things slower, whereas people who are above 5'5" even can just hop on, hop off.
I have issues with kind of the structure of the most recent seasons of the race because of this. I think it's become a little too physical. I think that the detailed challenges that honestly dominated our season and even seasons before were so fair in that it was building, it was figuring something out, it was memory, it was everything was
Yes.
very like anybody can do it, even if literally anybody. And I feel like this is
Yes.
the first time this has happened where not anybody can do this. You have to uh some people can do this really well and some people can't do this. And so I just struggle with why are we making it so physical? And a lot of times when it's physical, it's like carry something, go from point A to point B. That's not really like challenging. And when you think about it, like why can't you do something that's a little more cultural? Find something.
Yeah.
There's
Attention
one
to
challenge that
detail.
stands out. Yes, there's one challenge that stands out to me from the race that I think about all the time. It's when they were in this diamond store or jewelry store and they had to like figure out the carat of this diamond. And I feel like that is such an amazing race challenge where nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody
Right.
has to figure it out. They're on the same playing field and you have to do something that is so detailed. And so you're learning it together. And that to me is so much more fun to watch somebody completely out of their comfort zone where you have all these male teams that are literally spend half their life in the gym. They just had to just pull that strength out of their butt and then they're good. They didn't have to like
Right.
learn something new, which is what I have issue with.
No, I like totally agree. Those are the parts of the race I do remember enjoying, is like very cultural related or attention to detail where you really have to like just look around. Or I remember the one where they had I think it was on your season where you had to find like the bangles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Like that was very
Yes.
like needle in a haystack situation. Like those kind of things. That's what makes it fun, because you're like, oh, this is going to be hard for everybody.
Yep.
Right.
Well, and then also like the premise of it's a cultural show. We are supposed to learn about different cultures and countries and people and languages. And that's what Simone and I were so excited for. And the fact that they don't do go-kart racing in Croatia. And when I asked one of the executive producers who does is human bowling pretty prominent in the Netherlands? And he said, no, whoever designed that challenge had a lobotomy. Like, here.
Period.
What I will say though is I loved how much, even though your teams were literally fighting to not be last, I really thought it was inspiring and encouraging just how supportive Hannah and Rubina, the two of you, were of not only each other on the sidelines watching your sister, but how encouraging you were of your sisters doing the task. And then Simone and Kristine, that emotion was so raw and heartbreaking to watch, but you both persevered and you never gave up. And at the heart of the show, that's what this really is about, is not giving up and pushing yourself to the limit. And so, yes, I hated this task, but to see the two of you really overcome it and like not give up, I just thought was a very beautiful thing. And you should be proud of yourselves.
Well,
Truly.
yes.
Thank
Both of you.
you.
For
Both
real.
teams.
Yes.
Both teams
Yes.
for sure. I feel like
Absolutely.
there's so much to say about like finishing something, even if it's hard. I think like most people in the entire world would give up after one try when something is hard. And the fact that you continued to like push yourself to do it, even when you're literally like dying. You never quit, which that is not a lot of people can say that they've done that. You know what I mean? That they've never quit something that was hard.
Oh, I was just going to say it almost like, of course I was cheering for my sister. And of course I knew that it would be either you guys or us. But it almost did bring me to tears just watching Kristine after carrying the nets, after doing the skinning, after running all over Dubrovnik, then have to do this challenge that just is not catered to her profile as a racer. And to see you struggle through that, and also to see like Rubina never waver in terms of her like unconditional support for you. It was so emotional in all of the worst ways and all of the best ways too. And we were definitely like, when you finally got it, I think Simone and I both were in the position where we were like, okay, this is it for us. And that's sad, but like, keep racing, girls. We're rooting for you. We're so proud of you for getting through this. We're cheering you on. And then Simone and I could just focus on having fun.
Yes.
No, I hated so much standing there with you and knowing that it was just us left. I mean, I remember I was in the clip where I said, I hate that it's you and me here. Because even at the end of the day, though, it really wasn't like us versus them. It was like a you versus you situation. It was my sister versus herself. It was Simone versus herself at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
It was not really like, oh, we want to get them out. No, none of us felt that way. We all just wanted to finish the task complete and make ourselves proud and not give up. It was really at the end of the day about not giving up. And Hannah, oh man, I'm literally crying right now when I think about that scene of you telling your sister, I'm still smiling, it's fine, I just want you to, you just wanted her to see it through, even though we already knew the outcome, right? It wasn't about winning, it was about a personal win. It was about sticking it to Amazing Race, that even though this is hard and
I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yes, do it anyway. Do it anyway.
Yes.
So it was about the bigger, it's about sending a message and about your strength and as women. And so like for me, that's where I get really emotional, because it's about so much more than winning, you know?
Well, we were sad of the outcome. Either just Hannah and Simone, you guys were such a joy to watch, and truly, like, this goes to both of your teams, Rubina and Kristine and Hannah Simone. You guys are what Amazing Race is all about, and I just feel like you guys went into it with the right mindset and just how supportive you were of each other, and there was just a lot of heart behind why you guys were racing, and that definitely showed. As a viewer and as a fan, I'm in awe of all four of you. And I was sad at the outcome, but Hannah and Simone, you guys were a joy to watch.
Thank you.
Your sisterhood, my God.
Oh my gosh.
Goals.
We were like,
we would look at each other and be like, that could never be us.
We looked up to your guys' relationship as sisters, and you guys were each other's biggest cheerleaders, like no matter what, like from the horses to the brewery to the go-karts. And that's something just like really everybody inspires us to just like, again, root for each other no matter what and always stay in positive spirit. So we are so thankful for you guys for being role models.
Oh my God.
One of our favorite memories of Kristine and Rubina, this is how we knew that we would like, because Rubina, you and I had met each other, I think, just once prior to doing the race. And so we didn't know each other very well. And Kristine, I didn't know you. But something that sticks out to me is on our flight to Amsterdam. So this was before the race even started, but we were on ice. We were on the plane, and I think Kristine and Rubina were sitting maybe 1 or 2 rows behind us. And Simone and I were just like giggling and laughing and being ourselves the entire flight. And we could also hear Rubina and Kristine like just dying the entire flight. And we were like, we like them. We think that they're have a similar relationship to us, because everyone else was like with their notebooks the entire time, you know,
Yes.
like
And we're like,
yet. And yeah, like, we're on a flight to Amsterdam. Like, let's enjoy this. Let's suck the race for what it's worth. And that's
Right.
closer as siblings. And so we just appreciated that Kristine and Rubina always had the same positivity, the same energy, the same optimism. That's something that we look up to them for so much. It can't be.
the feeling is so mutual. It's actually disgusting that you're saying that out
Yeah.
loud. I'm like,
100%.
okay, in a reverse way, kettle, pot, like.
Wait, we also have another like super quick memory with Rubina and Kristine. This just came to mind. That was also like one of our, since we were obviously on ice like until we really like got to the introductions. Hermid, who's the lovely security guard for the race, aka the MVP of the Amazing Race, he was like, I don't remember what he said. He was just like, after this, you will have the option. And he also has like a really thick accent, but I'm not going to do it. But that kind of just like adds to the plot. But anyways, he was just like, there will be 2 trains to take. And then everybody's just silent. And then out of nowhere, you just hear Rubina shout, hey, 2 trains!
Like 2
chains. And then he just like looks at her. And then he's just like, yeah. Yeah,
he was being like, very serious, and in that moment, all I could think was 2 trains, because I'm Delulu and needed to have any amount of fun I could have, and Herman hated me.
No, it was literally the best thing ever. And so, as you guys know, like trains were like the method of transportation. So anytime we would see a train, we would think of Rubina and Kristine and just shout 2 trains.
That is so funny. I love all this sibling bonding. This is perfect for our short little sweet game that I have for us to play.
Yay!
Okay, welcome to Sister.
Oh my god, the font.
So I am going to, there's 6 questions. And we're going to play it newlywed game style. So you're going to answer the question. You can write it down if you have paper in front of you, or you can just type it on your phone. And then if you get it correct, you get a point. Or we don't have to keep score. It can just be for shits and giggles. Okay. So the first question is, what is your sister's birthday? We're starting very easy. Hopefully you know your sister's birthday. Hannah, what is Simone's birthday?
February 12th, 2003.
Is that correct?
Yes, it
right,
is.
Simone.
Aquarius.
Oops. Oh, Simone, what is Hannah's birthday?
Hannah was born May 13th. 2000. She is a Taurus, and she was born the year that Mother's Day was on May 13th.
No, so it was born on Friday the 13th.
Oh, I knew it. I second guessed myself. Not me getting your birthday wrong too.
No, that's okay. You weren't alive then.
Rubina, what is Kristine's birthday?
June 16th, 1986.
Oh,
yes. And then what's Rubina's birthday?
February 4th, 1989.
Also Aquarius.
Yes.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
Between the two of you, which sister is more likely to overpack for a trip? Write down which sister you think it is. See if you guess the same.
Me too.
All right, Kristine and Rubina, who did y'all put?
I put Rubina. Because this is as of only recently. Before, I definitely was the overpacker, but these days, Rubina is so busy. She's like bag lady. So she needs all the options. She never knows what event she's going to go to. Rubina's the overpacker.
This is
Disrespect is crazy.
That's hilarious. Hannah and Simone.
Hannah.
Oh, I said Simone.
Oh!
Yeah, only because I feel like Hannah also travels very light. And like whenever she comes home, she just brings like her backpack. Or whenever she visits in LA, she'll bring like her bag.
No, but that's only because I have a closet in LA and I have a closet at home.
A closet in LA.
Your closet.
That's
That's such a sister-coded answer. That's such a sister answer.
Your closet,
We-
your clothes, duh.
We love sharing clothes, and sometimes like I'll pick out outfits for her, and like I'll have them like ready for when she gets here. Like I'll buy shirts for her. I'll be like, oh, I think that you would slay this. I'll keep it here. But I still feel like you do pack light.
But that's only when I know that there are things waiting for me. But if you and I were to go to Mexico, for example, like I'm bringing a huge suitcase, you're bringing a little carry-on.
Oh, that's so true. Okay, wait, I changed it to Hannah. That is true, because I guess, it's only LA and home.
Yeah.
That
that
is
you
so
travel
good.
like.
Question 3 on the race. Which sister was better at driving?
It doesn't say navigating.
Nope. It says driving. That's a whole
Rubina
different
was
question.
better. Rubina was better at driving. She was definitely better at manual than me because when we were practicing, I was actually surprised that I wasn't getting it.
Yeah, because she's infamously the better driver.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But in this situation, it was definitely me.
Yeah, on the race.
Well,
All right, Hannah and Simone.
I didn't touch the wheel once. No, Simone.
I
Yes.
also said me. But
Why
Hannah's
didn't
better
you
at
drive?
navigating any day.
Barely. Barely.
Hannah, she does a great job, but if anything, since she recently started driving in DC and I was the one that took the stick shift lessons, going into it, we were like, in case like at any time we have stick, then I would just be like the designated driver for the whole race. And then Hannah can navigate like circles around me. So we knew that she would be the better navigator.
All right. What is your sister's top bucket list travel destination?
Oh shoot.
Wait for them to ask.
Okay.
Am I
let's
going
go.
first?
Rubina and Kristine. Kristine, where does Rubina want to travel?
She's only talked about this recently, but Australia.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah. I do.
And
Yay.
Rubina, what about Kristine?
I'm referencing what I thought she had already said, which was Japan.
Yes. Yeah, 1000%. It
Sorry, I
used to
went
be
without
like
you.
like way back when ago, used to be Greece, but definitely Japan's like.
Okay, Simone, where does Hannah want to go?
Yes. Hannah's dream is to return to Italy. She loved it and had the greatest time of her life. But she also really, really wants to see more of South Africa. And she wants to go back to India. And she would also love to go to Greece.
Yes. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. She hit it on the head. Wait, Simone, I feel as though you have been to every country that's kind of on your bucket list. For you, I said Greece, but
yes!
Oh, okay.
That's exactly it. That's what I put on the race application and everything. Because I want to go to the island where they filmed Mamma Mia.
That's
Of
right.
course you do.
Cute. Cute.
I'm obsessed. What
Oh.
was your sister's biggest fear on the race? Me on the race, my biggest fear was taxis.
Ooh.
Wait, yeah. I wish that you guys were playing this game with us.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
husband edition.
No.
Sister, husband, basically.
Rubina, what was Kristine's biggest fear on the
Do you mean
race?
like in anticipation of like what she would have to
yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Anything heights or probably skydiving.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. This is hard because Rubina's not really scared of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But if I were to say an answer, it would be like her being scared I would give up on something. Maybe.
Oh. No, I don't think you would.
What would be your biggest
My
fear?
biggest
You're
fear
not
would be
allowed.
failing you.
Oh, yeah.
You know how I am.
That's the big, yeah. That is the biggest, yeah, that is the one thing.
All right. I love it. Hannah, what was Simone's biggest fear? Or what do you think it was?
Caves.
Caves.
Yes!
Ooh. I love
She didn't
that.
want to
That's
swim
so-
in like a confined space.
That's
Yeah.
so. Oh my god. Yeah.
That's terrifying. All right, Simone, what about Hannah?
Hannah, she genuinely is fearless, but if there was ever, I said like not seeing like progress or change. So also sort of like being at a standstill, but again, like not trying new things. So if it just seemed like a dead end.
Yeah.
So always love the idea of if something doesn't work out, change your approach and try it again versus just like doing the same thing over and over again, which I did a couple times in the horse race.
Oh, that's complacency scares me.
All right, last question. What is your sister's favorite memory from the race?
Gerber daisies, first leg, first roadblock.
Yes.
As a floral designer, of course, that's the dream, is for your
Yeah.
passion to align with something on the race. So
That was
love it.
really like truly just so awesome for me. And then for Rubina, I really do think it was the plank one because
it was
so cool, like a heights challenge on the Amazing Race. Like she got to do that. So that for her.
it was just for sure something I knew you wouldn't do, and I could rise to the occasion.
Mhm.
Hannah, what about Simone's favorite memory?
I think Simone would probably say any time that her and I got to spend together, but specifically, I think she probably loved the dance challenge. And when we had to take those trains from Amsterdam to Prague, I'm sorry about the noise. I don't know what's going on. From Amsterdam,
Okay, we know where you are.
it's a bit of a madhouse. From Amsterdam to Prague, and us having to like sleep in the stairwell, and yeah.
Yeah, the nail on the head. And then with me, I said Hannah's to second, just like spending time together. I kind of broke it up into categories, if that's okay. Because I said like favorite memory was like us getting past the roadblock, like at the go-karts, and just like sharing that special moment together. And then in terms of like favorite challenge, I said the plank. And then favorite like long-term memory is like any times like the travel days, and then favorite like MVP of memories is Herman, the security guard.
You guys are so funny.
Well, y'all, thank you for hanging out with us. I know this went a little longer than we had anticipated, but we loved hearing about your experiences, and we just appreciate your time being on our recap and talking about it with us. And yeah, we just love and adore all four of you, and you all were a joy to watch on the Amazing Race.
No, we're fans. We are fans of y'all.
Yes.
I know that Simone and Hannah are longtime fans from other things of you guys, which is crazy. We won't go into a deep dive about that. That's another episode. But
you
guys are
truly
amazing.
our favorite racers. Our our favorite
love.
racers. So
Yeah.
it was like
Yes.
so cool.
It's an honor and a privilege, and we're
Yes.
so grateful.
And I just have to say, like, so I like to tell this story because Simone and I were alternates. I don't think we've like really spoken about that,
Yeah.
but we were. And so when we got the call that Friday that we were going to be racing, we called our dad first. We called our mom. She was at the gym. She didn't pick up. So who was the second person on our Rolodex? James.
Yeah.
We were like, we can't get a hold of our mom, so let's call James and Will. And it was like, Will, they're going. And Will was like,
I was like,
who?
And then James was like, Hannah Simone. He was like, yay!
It
Aww.
was so good.
We adore you guys.
Call
So much.
ever.
We adore you
That's
so much.
so
You guys
cute.
have been such big cheerleaders and champions of myself,
Yes.
Simone, Kristine, Rubina. Kristine and Rubina, it was such an honor. And I do want to shout you guys out in episode 6 because you guys were just able to have fun with it. And again, be your positive, optimistic selves. It was so beautiful to watch. We loved getting to race with you. We love that we now have you two in our lives. You can't get rid of the chatas.
No, we feel the same way. Hello?
Same.
No, your sisterhood literally were like, oh, that's what that's supposed to look like. So no, it's really so endearing to see you guys in your relationship and how sweet you guys talk to each other and how just there's so much warmth and love there. It's unreal. Like this is
Yeah.
real. It's amazing,
Yeah.
and it's really a privilege and an honor to know everyone in this chat. Truly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry we didn't
Wow.
talk about episode 6.
If
Yeah,
y'all need to
sorry.
go, feel free to go. We're gonna bust through episode 6 if any of you want to stay, but no pressure. But again, thank you for being on the recap. We appreciate it.
No, thank you for
Aw.
having us.
Thank
Everyone
you.
here.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Oh yeah, exit the browser. Hi, I'm a millennial. Boomer. Bye.
One down,
Bye.
2 down,
Bye,
5,
y'all.
3 down, 4 down.
Okay, it's just us two, babe. Let's bust through episode 6. As we know, teams are still in Croatia, and they were instructed to drive to the Tristano Arboretum. And I looked it up. This drive was only a 25-minute drive. And in order to find their next clue, they had to find it by the Neptune Fountain. Pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I feel like as Amazing Race fans, we can always say we love when it's a self-driving leg because I feel like there's always room for error or some really funny moments. And I pulled a few that I do want to show because we had some self-driving fiascos on our season.
I need to sit all the way up. Okay.
Tucker was pretty good when we were training for stick shift, so we know that we can do it, but it's obviously more challenging than automatic. We're very excited that this is a manual car and not an automatic, and we both have commercial driver's license. Even though we know how to drive semi-trucks, I could not for the life of me figure out how to put a car in reverse. Get in the car, just pull it.
Teamwork with me, okay? Speak to me. You got it. It's okay. Gas. Don't worry. I can do this.
That's already driving stick, so we're good.
I always rely on my sister to do all the hard stuff. And right now, I'm driving stick shift, so I'm really proud of myself. Wait, maybe you should drive.
Nah, let me try.
Can you ask that guy how to reverse? Oh, it's
Either way.
pushed down. That's what we're doing wrong. Thank you. Havala. There we go. That tutorial was clutch. Yay, Croatia!
I love self-driving legs because of these moments, but also this is where I think it's so interesting. Like, yes, as fans, we know that you need to learn and know driving stick shift, but no matter how much you learn and try before going on the race, the cars that they give you are not the same cars that you train on back at home. So it's still very much a learning curve. Welcome back, Kristine.
Hi. I hopped off because Rubina had to go, but I'm just home today, so I can chat.
Well, welcome back. We were just talking about how funny self-driving is on the race, and it always delivers some of the funniest moments on the show.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, I honestly wish I got to self-drive more, but I was the trusted one with navigation. I was actually excited when I got to take over for Rubina at that one leg. I was like, ooh, I get to drive. Like, so yeah.
Well, I do want. Oh, go ahead, babe.
No, we just watched a clip of all the people kind of driving stick. I loved Rubina like pumping up that tire
She was like
all the way up. So she's like on top of the steering wheel.
yeah.
But I think one of the things about learning stick is that every country newer cars are very different with how the stick is kind of situated, and that was pushing in for reverse. That's really challenging if you don't know that that's kind of how it's done in a foreign country.
100%.
Going to struggle, which
So like
it was fun to kind of watch Jag and Jazz struggle with getting in reverse.
Yeah, pushing the car was crazy, but also we did make sure to practice on two different cars for whatever reason. Like we just wanted to make sure to practice on an older car if possible, and then a newer car so we know the differences, because we didn't forget that at all. Like Rubina knew exactly push down, reverse, because the second or the most recent car that we had was a newer one. So
that's what we should have done, Will, because we learned on a very old classic, like vintage European car. So the stick and the way it was maneuvered was very different from the car we had on the show. And then of course it looked like we didn't learn stick. We did. It's just like the feel is so different with the cars that they give you than what you've done. But at the start of this leg, I do want to show these start times, because the most frustrating part about this leg and just watching it as a viewer was that there was really no opportunity for, I mean, don't look at the placements, those are not edited correctly, but there was just really no opportunity for you and Rubina to catch up. And so when you see like Tucker and Eric leaving at 8:58 and then you all leaving at 12:55, I mean, the leg feels like it was practically probably done at that point for a lot of the teams, especially knowing you had 25 minutes to drive. You still had to find the clue. And this is all before you even could start the detour. So going into this, did you guys feel almost like there is a glimmer of hope, but also like if there's not an equalizer, this might be it?
I mean, yeah, we did have a glimmer of hope. Unfortunately, it's just like we really didn't know how far behind we were, to be honest. That's why when we got we kind of were getting the vibe once we got to the Neptune thing, and I was up until we got to the clue like little container, I was like hopeful I was going to see another clue, but then we only saw one. And then the further along we got and the more we didn't see anybody, we were like, oh, so this is how it's going to go. You know, the only glimmer of hope was towards the end when we get to it is the maybe, but
I still think that they should have had a forced equalizer at the Arboretum where like it's not open until like 3 p.m. So that way all 8 teams would have been there together. And then it would have been a mad dash just looking through there, trying to find the fountain with the Neptune statue. And then that way it's a little bit more of an even playing field. Plus it's a missed opportunity for viewers to see the confrontation post a U-turn. I would have loved to have seen Izzy and Paige confront Jag and Jazz going into this leg. I would have loved to have seen you and Rubina be able to speak your piece with Joseph and Adam to really know what happened. We were just robbed of that purely based on leg design. I'm hoping we get that kind of confrontation with Paige and Izzy at some point with Jag and Jazz, but I just think this would have obviously been the leg for that to happen. But the blessing in all this, maybe for just you and Rubina, is the weather. The weather seemed to be a big element this leg because of how much it rained. And because you guys started later, you guys didn't have to really battle the elements as much as some teams. So I did pull a little clip of the weather.
Let me be the wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
You hold. Nice and steady. The weather is so bad. It's pouring down rain. We're drenched. Big puddle coming up. Keep going. Woo! We were going through puddles, the biggest puddles I've ever seen. Oh my god, this is ankle deep water. We're not getting off this path. My socks are soaked.
There is nothing worse than wet socks and shoes. Kristine, I saw you chatting, but it was muted. What were you saying while that clip was playing?
No, like we didn't even realize that it was pouring that much for them because of the difference. And then when we were watching the episode back, we're like, dang, it was like raining really hard, like pretty hard for some of these people. And then with the salt thing, like, no. So we were, it kind of added to us having a good day because we had good weather.
Exactly. before we talk about the detour and roadblock, I do want to play one more clip of Izzy and Paige. And I love how they race. And this is a prime example of what I'm talking about.
We brought them up not to follow us. They've been following us quite a bit, so. I wonder if we're going here. Come on. Yes. Can we go on here? Let's go up here, up here. Fine, put that back on. Yep. Come on. I'm putting it under my thing. Let's get back to the car. How do we get out of here? You know where to go? To the car. Yeah, there it is. Yes. You want to get back to that main road, right? Yeah. Hold on. I want to put this like, no, here's good. They're right. Come on.
Oh, they already got it. Dad.
What's that? All right. They don't have it. I know.
Is it in here?
No, what are we looking for?
For a clue.
A clue.
So smart to be so stealthy
smart.
and try to be sneaky to kind of throw Jack and Chelsea off. They were able to kind of get a little bit of a lead over them, despite leaving the pit start after Jack and Chelsea. So I love this kind of racing, and I feel like we're seeing it a lot from Izzy and Paige, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, they're really smart racers. I was proud of them for like hiding the clue and trying to not make sure they were following them. They were honestly so incredible with the directions. Like that was just really cool.
I feel like the other teams at not the top of the pack, but like that huddle of people, it is so much like, this is what's coming, and do you want to go together? Do you want to skip and hold hands? Like it's so
Yes.
It's kind of obnoxious to.
It is kind of, because it's like,
what are we doing?
As you said, Will, it's not the Amazing Best Friend race.
No, it's not.
But we definitely saw a lot of that at the detour on this leg between Bag It Up and Pull It Up. And Bag It Up, teams had to load a wheelbarrow with salt, fill 10 bags with 20 to 21 pounds of salt, and then deliver them to a shipping area to receive their next clue. In Pull It Up, teams had to row a boat into the bay and pull up 3 buoys with oysters, then deliver those oysters to a local restaurant in exchange for their next clue. We saw on the Bag It Up side when teams were running like, oh, where are the wheelbarrows, and like pointing things out. And it's just like what you were saying, Will, like, why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? Like, I don't feel like we really did much of that on our season. Yes, we had an alliance, but like, we're not going to like hold hands and like point things out to you like while we're also doing it. I don't know. Do I sound like a hypocrite?
Here's what I say. If somebody gives me information, I'm not going to complain, but
Exactly.
I am not going to give you information. I'm not going to tell you something that benefits you while I'm also not done with said activity. So if somebody said, hey, this is what's coming, I'll say thank you and be very appreciative because I am. But also, I'm not going to return the favor. Sorry.
It's like being calculated with it. Like, I think an example is when we were in Manaus doing the market, we knew Madison and Riley didn't have gloves. They didn't have 2 sets of gloves. And so after we got our check and we got approval from the dockmaster, our race continued. And that's when we felt comfortable telling Madison and Riley, oh, you guys are missing gloves, because we knew they still had to take time to go back and get it, which still gave us a little bit of a lead. Yeah, there's an alliance there, but it's knowing when to share that valuable information. But I did laugh a lot in terms of the Pull It Up side of the detour. I don't know what was going on with Kyland and Taylor, but wouldn't you just think that you should both be rowing? Like, why are we just
I kind of was. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Kylan was doing all the rowing, to be honest.
I was like, what's going on? And then you see Natalie and Steph. At first, I think Steph was trying to row. And then Natalie's like, let me help. And then they're like, we have to do this. This is a team effort. I'm like, yeah, that's the race. You're a team. So the fact that they were both rowing was so much more efficient. And I think even you and Rubina were doing that as well.
Yeah, we were trying to like row in sync with each other for sure. And then we figured out that not having it in the little holder was way more helpful because it kept coming out. And I was like, this is not working. We need to take it out of the holder.
How hard was this oyster side of the detour? Like, how long did it really take you to do it?
It didn't honestly feel that long. Once we got our bearings and our rhythm with the rowing, I was I was actually surprised at how quick we were doing it. We're like, oh, we're actually like moving, and the current wasn't like too bad either. And then once we found the buoys also weren't that far, and then
Yeah.
we were surprised because it didn't look like a lot of teams chose that challenge because there's still a lot of buoys left. So we were kind of excited about that. But they didn't show this part, but we actually went back and forth with deciding this detour for a minute, and Rubina was kind of getting frustrated with me. She was like, we just need to make a decision, because the thing is with the with I think with both detours, if there was too many teams, you had to wait for a team to complete it. And so we weren't sure, well, what if boats have too many teams and then we can't get on a boat? Or what if salt has too many teams going at the same time? So, but because like logistically we ran into the boats, it was the boats first along the coastline and then the salt was after. We were like, we might as well just do this. And it just did seem easier because it was less rolling around these heavy things, like the heavy bags of salt. So I just thought to myself that we would be able to figure out the boat thing easier.
Sorry, I had to take a bathroom break.
You're okay. What side of the detour do you think we would have chosen? Do you think we would have done bag it up or pull it up?
I think we would have done the salt.
Interesting, because I would argue that we probably would have done pull it up. I don't know. I feel like rowing, we've done that. Anytime we travel, we always are on the water together, whether it's kayaking, canoeing, or paddleboard. Like we always are on the water. That I just feel like pull it up just feels, I don't know, easier. There's not a lot of room for error with like the bag it up side. You had to get the right amount of salt. With pull it up, you just had to pull up 3 buoys and call it a day.
I don't know. I really feel as though recent experience of you and I in a boat includes arguing. I will say that. So I feel like with that knowledge, I would have avoided having to maneuver what would you call it? A craft, like a boat. I would rather just have a very straightforward, fill something up, get it checked.
But it's not, because you have to get it the right amount of weight. I feel like the pull it up is a lot more straightforward. You just have to grab 3 buoys.
They had a scale.
Huh?
They had a scale for you.
I know, but like it took some finessing, and then we saw with Paige and Izzy, there was definitely a technique of getting the sealing of the bag. Like to me, there's a lot more layers to bag it up than there is pull it up, which is why I think we would have probably gone to pull it up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the rowing really wasn't that hard once you like figured it out.
See, that's what I'm
then,
saying.
like the pulling up of the oysters didn't seem. I mean, Rubina is small and mighty, but like all you had to do was literally pull it up, put it in a crate, and then row back. Like that was it.
Yeah. But Jenna B in the chat that's a good point. The strategy of weighing how many scoops into one bag was really smart. It was.
That was really smart. Yeah.
After this detour, it was the roadblock where one team member had to study a raised relief map of the town, find 3 shields that each displayed 3 facts about Croatia, and then answer 3 questions to receive their next clue, which would ultimately direct teams to the pit stop. And as we learned, racers received different questions on each attempt, which obviously was not in the clue, nor was it in the additional info. This was something that teams had to figure out. And I did appreciate the different approaches to this roadblock. So I pulled a little clip of the different techniques.
I'm gonna go back and take the quiz. That way I can figure out what questions they're gonna ask me. And then I'll know which ones I can remember when I am going to all different locations. I'm sorry, try again. That was the intel that I needed, so.
Wait, actually, I'm gonna ask again. As I was running off, I realized she might ask different questions. Questions change, that's all I needed to know.
I got this, I totally got this. Okay, hello!
Yes, you got it!
What is a famous Croatian motto?
Taylor, you can do it.
The questions have changed. I tried to check the questions so I know what specific answers to look for on each of the boards. I thought I hacked the system. The system hacked me.
Look,
Mama.
I do appreciate Taylor's thought process. Like, it
Sure.
felt like a very sound strategy. But I think what set that apart from Jazz is I feel like Jazz maybe knows the show a little bit better to maybe go back to the judge and ask that a second time, because this is not the first time the race has done something like this to throw teams off. So I'm wondering if Jazz, maybe just his knowledge of the race was what kind of set him apart from Taylor in this moment to say, on second thought, let me go back and ask again, and then realize, okay, they're asking different questions. Will, what do you think about the roadblock?
It's a good one. This one requires like memory and facts. I do wish that there was like an extra dynamic or something where like maybe the something was in like the Croatian language or something that like kind of tripped people up a little bit more. But it was just very straightforward. Memory.
Kristine, going into this roadblock, what was the decision for Rubina to ultimately do it versus you?
So I don't remember exactly what the clue said in terms of the hint, but she just automatically chose, like, volunteered herself. But knowing how it went and what it was supposed to be about her running, because I'm not good at running and I don't have a lot of endurance. I was glad that she did it, because it after watching the episode, it was a lot of running. Like, they don't show how deep. I mean, you could see the map, but they had to run back and forth. So
it looked exhausting with the amount of running, especially not really being oriented on the city. Like, sure, the map was there, but it's not like you had a physical map to take with you. So there was a lot of layers to this roadblock, which I really loved. And this is why I think, again, when it comes to the design of this leg, it would have been a lot more exciting had there been a bunch point at the Arboretum, because I feel like we would have seen a lot more teams running around the town trying to get the memorization of these facts. And also, I like the fact that the Alliance couldn't work together on this. It's not like, Stephanie could have been asked questions and then go to Adam and say, here's the 3 questions that they asked you, here's the answers. It was very much random in terms of what questions were going to be asked. And so, sure, you can memorize facts, but no one's going to have the same answer. So I thought the roadblock was so well designed, but if the leg would have just been different, I just feel like this could have been a lot more exciting with multiple teams going around at once.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I didn't get to comment on your what you said about an equalizer at having the Arboretum not open, but that really would have changed a lot, especially like for our leg of the race to even have an opportunity,
100%. It's frustrating that you were never bunched up with another team, not once, not any of these tasks. Like, you literally ran the leg solely just the 2 of you. What was interesting after this roadblock was the exchange between the Trainwreck Alliance of Natalie and Steph and Joseph and Adam. And here's the clip.
This way, through this gate and follow the road.
Where did you guys park?
Right out here.
Okay, because we're parked right over here.
Okay.
We'll meet up by our car, so we can go together and it'll be double checked.
Okay. Why do you tell people you're gonna wait? Nah, we're racing right now.
So should I tell them we're gonna go? We have to go.
Why are you doing that?
Sorry.
Because now it's like...
I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
Now it's a foot race and every inch counts.
I mean, we're not gonna screw them over. They got directions too.
All right, that's your call. The Trainwreck Alliance is still pretty solid. I just think we need to find a balance of helping and also running the race at the same time.
Did they come back here, Adam?
No, why would they do that?
They're supposed to follow each other.
Yeah, but Joseph, you're,
I'm sorry, Seth, but they are our alliance, and
No, they are, but I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense for us to backtrack. They should be meeting up with us instead of us going back.
I 100% am in agreement with Steph on this. I'm sorry.
That was crazy.
Like, even with our Mind 5 Alliance, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go back. Nope. I'm gonna keep going.
For
And
anyone.
for anyone. But even like
Anyone.
I understood though, Natalie is so sweet and she is very loyal. So I could see that internal dilemma of, well, these are our friends, but Steph's like, yes, but this is also a race, and like we're ahead of them. Like, why are we gonna stop our race when we have a lead over? And like Joseph and Adam left the pit start before Natalie and Steph. Like, this is your chance to get above them in placements. Like it made so much sense that Steph was like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. But I do like these little moments on the race when they do happen, because they are few and far between. Well, that brings us to our pit stop. And in this leg of the race, we see that Tucker and Eric get first yet again, followed by Jag and Jazz, third being Taylor and Kyland, fourth being Natalie and Steph, fifth being Joseph and Adam, sixth being Jack and Chelsea, and seventh being Paige and Izzy. And sadly, we say goodbye to you, Kristine and Rubina. I just, again, wish that this leg would have been designed so differently so that there would have been a chance for y'all to catch up. But I did appreciate throughout the teases of like maybe eliminated, and then that subtle soft that Phil did at the pit stop. There was like, is there a glimmer of hope here? What were your thoughts when you read maybe eliminated?
I mean, I was definitely hopeful that we noticed it right away when she finished the roadblock, maybe eliminated, and we're like, let's go see Phil. So it was tough because we were understanding that maybe, right, that's not like promising anything. So we're running to the pit stop. And there is still hope, especially literally up until the second that he says, unfortunately, been eliminated, or whatever he said. But literally up until that second, we're like, maybe we're not. And then once he said it, we understood, and it was bittersweet. But we couldn't be more grateful for the experience at that point. And Rubina had mentioned this in exit interviews that we felt like we won after the U-turn. Like that was a triumphant moment for us. So, even if we had to be eliminated and there was no equalizer, we were still leaning into so much gratitude for the experience. So, I mean, that's why we weren't even upset that bad or crying about it, because it was what it was, but we were just so happy to be able to do it together.
Yeah. You guys, I mean, we said this earlier when you all were on the recap, but you guys were a joy to watch. And I love that we got a lot more backstory where you guys were able to share a little bit about your mom and having watched the show with her growing up, and just how important doing this race together was. And I just, you guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And
Appreciate it.
Kudos to y'all too, though, because y'all, this leg of the race, I feel like y'all did it pretty flawlessly. Like, I don't think that y'all had any mistakes, which even with no mistakes, I mean, you didn't really have a shot, which is annoying, but
I know.
Because you did so well this leg of the race with not making mistakes and just,
I know. It's just like, what are we going to do? Like speed along the coast. And the thing is, it's like, we're not driving through the middle of a country. It's a coastline, right? So there's literally only one way to go. Like, how lost can you get?
Exactly.
So it is what it is.
Well, y'all should be proud of yourselves. And I think with the preview for next week's episode, it looks or appears to be an equalizer, which it's one leg too late. But I'm looking forward to being the equalizer. Hopefully some confrontation between Izzy and Paige and Jag and Jazz. We see that teams are skydiving through the clouds of Romania, and then one team is forced to play catch up after struggling during a sheep herding challenge. And we'll be back this Friday with a recap. And I believe Brooke from season 29 is going to be joining us. And I think Kayla, we're waiting to see if Kayla can join as well. So we have another fun recap later this week. But Kristine, thanks for hanging out with us for the last hour and a half.
Oh my God, yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me and my sister and then the Chada sisters. This was so much fun.
Yeah, so we'll have to grab drinks soon, and we'll catch up and celebrate in person.
Yay! Thank you guys so much.
Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see y'all with our next week's recap. Bye, everyone.
Bye.